All right, I'm 5 months into my commercial real estate brokerage career. I started with 9 months of savings, but it only lasted me 4. Here I am, negative 1 month of money. What do I do to ramp up my efforts? Am I actually going to make it in this business? Do I have what it takes? How do I deal with the stress? What's my next step? What's up, friends? Justin Ryder here. I'm a commercial real estate broker in Lexington, Kentucky. I am on a daily basis selling wonderful assets for great clients. That is investment properties. I happen to be a CCIM, which is a certified commercial investment member. It's sort of like a master's degree designation in commercial real estate where you need a certain portfolio to get the designation. I love property. I love serving clients, and I love making media. Welcome to my YouTube channel. The rather dramatic opening to this video is actually not about my life, but instead a DM I received from a young gentleman out west who truly is about 5 months into his commercial real estate career. He started with 9 months of savings and it only lasted 4. So he basically DM'd me, and that's what I want to respond to in this video. He essentially said, I need to make money or quit. And what do I do to ramp up my efforts really quickly? So folks, we're talking about this very interesting question, and I want to spend the entire length of today's video trying to piece together an answer. Speaking to someone who happens to be sort of in this danger zone. 1, I think you can go ahead and get out of the business, or 2, you can stay in the business. But I would add a bit of a caveat to these. 1, I would say you get out with dignity, or you stay in and do it differently. So that's the dynamic at play. You either get out with dignity or stay in and do it differently. First, let's talk about getting out with dignity. Now, in this case, you have to really understand your own identity as a person outside of the success of whatever job you're doing, which is a life journey in and of itself and pretty difficult to do. However, there is no dignity lost in switching careers or switching jobs to protect your family and provide for your family. If you're making an honest attempt and it's simply not working because of the timing and there's looming pressure, there's no pride lost in doing something different to set your family up for the future. That to me allows you to have dignity in this process. And I would really focus on that so that you have no regrets. Now, why might you have regrets? Well, if you leave because you say, you know what, this business is hard, guess what? Anything that is worth doing is going to be hard. Now, the other thing is you might be saying, I simply don't have the tools to excel. I would say that that is not a good reason to leave the business and would not lead to lasting dignity with the decision. Why? Because the tools are out there. Just literally search on YouTube. There is someone in your office and or community that will share even a few simple tools. Again, the business of commercial real estate brokerage, simple, not easy. But the tools are readily available out there, and most of them for free, that you can begin to apply to gain traction. Now, third, you might be saying, well, this is not my passion or hobby. Like, I got into this because I wanted to make money, and I wanted to make big money. Let's be honest. That's okay. I think real estate as a passion and or hobby, which you hear from a lot of people that do it for a long time, I think some of them do fall in love with it on day one. Others do it and they enjoy it and they experience success, and that snowballs into it becoming more of a passion and hobby. I think it's okay that it starts as a bit more of a job. Then you start meeting actual people in the industry who become friends, and you're sort of doing it together. So before long, a job has turned into friendships, providing for your family, opportunities to invest, trips, conferences, learning more, and it becomes a passion and hobby. Now, certainly there are other reasons, but I wouldn't leave because it's hard. I wouldn't leave because you don't think the tools are out there. And I wouldn't leave because it's currently not your passion. So why might you leave? Well, you might leave because there's simply no transactions right now to be able to make money, to actually take home paychecks. So if people around you in your office or in your community are echoing what the data is saying, which is that there's simply no transactions happening right now. Either the market is dry, we're in a down cycle, and you're thinking, I've got family obligations, I've got bills, I've got debt, then this might be a reason that you look at a potential pivot. All right, now is the exciting part, because you might be saying, Justin, I don't want to get out of this. In fact, I want to scuba dive into it. I don't just want to wade into what we're talking about. Then I would say you can stay in, but do it differently. All right, what do I mean by stay in the business, but do it differently? I honestly think this is really good advice. There are two ways that you can do this. One is to switch your profession inside of the real estate business. Now, brokerage tends to be an all commission type job, but there are others in real estate that aren't. For example, property management or asset management. Another example might include marketing or social media. I've literally heard of someone that worked a front desk. I think it's actually Sean Sweeney, who develops multifamily property in Minnesota. I'm pretty sure he worked a front desk of a multifamily firm just to break into the business. Okay, so why would someone actually want to switch within commercial real estate? Well, their mindset is not just about brokerage. Their mindset is about this idea of being a real estate entrepreneur for life. So that's why someone might switch or work a front desk or do marketing or venture into property management, because you're still learning the basics of an industry that's going to continue to grow and expand just from a different place in it. So you could stay in and do it differently by switching, or you could stay in and do it differently by supplementing your income. Now, what do I mean by that? Instead of doing another job in commercial real estate, you keep your brokerage job and you wait tables, work at Home Depot. I'm just making stuff up. Do something at night, while certainly difficult. Do something to supplement that income to take the pressure off of this debt period. All right, so what are the potential benefits of supplementing income by doing something different and staying in? Well, you keep the snowball going on your brokerage career. Here's the thing, and I have to be honest about this. It's extremely doubtful that in 1 month you build something within commercial real estate brokerage that actually feeds your family and leads to a short-term success. But you can keep doing the blocking and tackling, the list building, the calling, the meetings. Those things will snowball and probably not provide short-term profitability, but will provide you long-term success as they grow and grow. So maybe you want to stay in a position where you can keep doing the blocking and tackling of brokerage. All right, so you can get out with dignity, or you can stay in and do it differently in those two different ways. I want to conclude my sort of answer to this question. And again, I invite you to jump in and share your thoughts. I wanted to conclude with 2 points of advice that I think are very important as you think short-term and long-term. Number 1 is the short-term. You cannot do this job in such a way as to make people think that you need cash and you need it now. People will be repulsed by it. It will scare them. It will put pressure on them. If there's any sense of, hey, we gotta get this done because I gotta make a paycheck, the elements of a service business that make it a no pressure, healthy situation and client relationship, those begin to break down as personal interest go to the front burner. 2 is I would absolutely think long-term with this entire situation. Now, what does that mean? If you go to any real estate entrepreneur in your community, literally pick one, maybe in your office or outside, find one and go to them and talk to them about how they got started. I would almost guarantee or bet, and I'm not a bet man, but I'd almost bet that if you did ask them, what would you do if you were 22 or 24? Now that you're 36, 42, 56, in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, having spent a lifetime in this business, growing investments, having good deals, hopefully a bunch of great deals, would you go back and fight for it when you were younger? I literally almost bet that 100% of them would say yes. If I was back in 22 and had to wait tables or work a front desk or change to marketing just to make it in this business, knowing everything I know now, knowing the opportunities that came along, I would do it every day of the week, twice on Sunday. I think many of them would say that. So as you think short term, as you think long term, I want to encourage you. To the person who sent this question, I want to say I really appreciate it. And I'm aware of the situation and the gravity of the situation. And I take it really seriously. And my hope and prayer is that this month here, where you feel the squeeze, and I can even kind of feel it in the voice that you sent the DM, but where you feel that, my hope and prayer is that it's a momentary setback in the building of a really long and successful career. So cheers, go get them. I hope this gave you some thoughts to consider as you work out your journey. And thanks for watching.